Hello all, this is Irish Reds TV. It's been close to a year since our last video. We've been both pretty busy in personal lives and work-wise and causes and stuff like that, but we're back to actually come back in a bang and talk about the Manchester Derby, which will be taking place on Saturday at 5 p.m. So, Jerry, do you want to talk a little bit first about how you feel and stuff about the Derby?
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's a big game. Probably bigger for City, more so than United, because I suppose they have the league title at stake. You know, for their fans, it'll mean everything to them to beat us and to win the league on the day. So I think it'll be nice from a Manchester United point of view to try and put a halt to that and keep them waiting another week at least.
You don't want it to happen twice in the past 6 years, where obviously what happened in 2012 with the dramatic win, you don't want to afford them the title again, so whatever way you can stop them for another week or two or however long would be good. Manchester City looked very poor in midweek in the Champions League against Liverpool. What did you think about that game and stuff?
Yeah, I was very surprised. First of all, I actually thought City would go and get a result at Anfield. A draw, I predicted 2-2.
Yeah, we both said either 2-2 or 3-3, a really open game and plenty of goals.
But unfortunately for them and for a lot of other people, unless you're Scouse, all the goals came for Liverpool, so they have a mountain to climb down the second leg.
Yeah. I think they've left it too late. If they'd got one away goal,
the away goal, it means so much getting an away goal in Europe now, so it's an uphill task now for them. Which might play into our hands at the weekend, because it's such a big game for them now next week. For City, they might be tempted to maybe rest one or two of the main lads on Saturday.
Were you surprised that some of the personnel and some of the tactics that were deployed on the night by Manchester City just weren't up to the usual standards that they have set this season?
I wasn't really surprised by the tactics, more so the lineup.
Okay.
I was expecting maybe Laporte to partner either John Stones or Otamendi.
You were surprised by Kompany's inclusion?
I thought it just wasn't the right game for Kompany. Yes, he has the experience, but Liverpool's forward line is just so quick once they get in behind you, and I thought they turned him inside out at times. I thought he really struggled.
They did a few times. Oxlade-Chamberlain just turned him on a dime one part, and as you say, with the pace in Liverpool's team, it's possibly not the ideal game for someone like Vincent Kompany to come in.
And then you had Laporte left back, which didn't make a lot of sense. He hasn't really played there a lot all season since he's come to City, so it seemed like an odd decision. And you had Ilkay Gundogan on the right wing.
Yeah, that was the most strange. You said Laporte's the left footer, so he could have potentially played there, but
he could have slotted in, but it just didn't make sense.
With the Delfal, Zinchenko, who's played left back majority of the games, or even Danilo, who can slot into that position, it just didn't make sense in that respect. And Gundogan's a central midfielder, so putting him on the wing was very bizarre.
And I know Delph is a central midfielder, but he has played under Guardiola, and he's done okay there as well. Gundogan is not a wide player; he's a midfielder. He's a central midfielder, box to box. Yeah, it just didn't make sense.
I just felt like the tactics as well. I just felt like they couldn't string too many passes together. They were constantly losing the ball. I know they were getting highly pressed by Liverpool, because that's their tactic under Klopp, to be pressed high up the pitch very intensely to get the ball back very quick, which is ironic because that's what Barcelona used to do under Pep. Attack high, win on the press and counter and stuff.
I did feel Pep got his tactics wrong. There's a way of playing against Liverpool. There's a way of nullifying them.
Well, Manchester United did it less than a month ago.
I was at that game, and it was intriguing to watch the way we nullified them, broke at pace, tucked them on, and scored two fantastic goals from Rashford. And then in the second half, yes, we did sit back, but we were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
We could afford
Yeah.
to, and I think City they were too open from the start.
There just didn't seem any cohesion, as I said, very sloppy in passing and stuff, and just
Very
didn't-
naive.
Yeah,
I
just
don't know,
think-
is it arrogance from Guardiola or is it naivety?
Maybe a combination of two, because he has been shown a few times that he can be inflicted a heavy defeat in Europe at the knockout stage.
It's just a refusal to change things up and to...
Like Raheem Sterling wasn't playing. I thought that was a bad decision. Like he could have
probably would
influenced
have
the
offered
game.
more than Gundogan on the right anyway.
Yeah, just tactically and just the lineup wasn't great anyway. But how do you feel Manchester United chances in the derby now that, you know, City have one of the worst performances all season? It was similar in the 4-3 game when Liverpool went 4-1 up, but United have a great chance to pounce now on a wounded animal, essentially.
Yeah, I'm confident enough. You know, we haven't lost at the Etihad in 3 years, I think now, nearly 4. I think November 2014 was the last time,
Yeah.
from memory. Chris Smalling got sent off that day. So, yeah, I'm confident, quietly confident I would say. It depends a lot on the lineup. If City put out a full strength team,
It's difficult
it's
still.
hard to go there and get any kind of a result, but I'm confident, you know. I've just got that feeling that on the day United are going to pull something out the bag.
Another thing that I feel is it is a quick turnaround from playing a Wednesday Champions League Saturday evening fixture. So I don't think City did a lot in the game, but how fresh will the players be? It is a quick turnaround.
It is, and then I suppose they have signed a lot of players. They've spent a huge amount of money, so they really should have the squad to deal with that. But I suppose we'll see on Saturday night.
Looking at the stats, actually, out of the last 10 games between the two teams, both teams have won 4 games and drawn 2. So the fixture is on a nice position where it could go either way. It could be a draw, or either team could win. So we'll come to predictions and stuff later, but that's just an interesting stat as well. An interesting stat about Man City in the last 5 games: only 3 wins, 2 losses, scoring only 7 and conceding 6. So it's not been so much vintage Man City in recent games that has
They've definitely kind of
dropped off a little bit.
dropped off a little, and you know, I think it's a bit of a reality check, really.
Yeah.
I mean, going out of Europe, or well, not going out of Europe, but
On
getting
the-
a heavy
on-
defeat
yeah.
and being on the verge of knocked out.
Mm.
You know, maybe this team isn't as good as they thought.
And their recent home form has been good. 5 wins, scoring 15 and only conceding 3. And overall, their home record is very impeccable. It's up there with some of the best home records you'll ever see in the Premier League, with 14 wins, 1 draw, scoring 51 and conceding 10. So they have made the Etihad a fortress, but they can be beaten, as we've seen on their day. So. Any other thoughts about that, or do you want to talk about a few of the stats and stuff?
Yeah, we'll discuss some of the stats, I suppose.
Yeah.
So last 5 games for Manchester United, we've won 4 and we've lost 1.
And you remember the one?
Sevilla,
Unfortunately, yeah, very
Champions
disappointing.
League.
Very disappointing. Like, I had a lot of hope this year. We had 5 English teams in the last 16. And I felt quietly confident we were going to see 4 out of the 5, and Chelsea was going to be the one to get knocked out. But unfortunately, we lost Manchester United and we lost Tottenham, and it's disappointing because I thought both could have easily gone through.
Absolutely, yeah. I just think for Tottenham it was a bit of naivety at the highest level, but for United we had no excuses. We were just poor over 2 legs, especially in Old Trafford.
Do you want to talk about the last time Man United won at the Etihad, because it's been a bit more tighter in recent games? So
it has been, as I said earlier, we're unbeaten there in nearly 4 years.
Yeah.
So I think we did, actually oddly enough, we did well under Louis van Gaal against City.
in the particular Manchester derby.
In the derby, yeah. We won, I think, 3 out of 5 games or something like that. I remember 2 years ago Marcus Rashford had just burst on the scene and he scored an absolutely fantastic goal.
This was only less than 5 games, or a bit more, was it?
I think it was was it late March, early April? He had only been in the first team maybe 2 months less.
Yeah. Less than 10 games, we'll say
I think
anyway.
it was.
Yeah.
He just absolutely skinned De Michaelis, left him on his backside, and lovely finish past Joe Hart, I think it was.
Do you want to speak about the last 5 away games? I think this is in the league basically, so...
For United?
Yeah, for Manchester, yeah, for Man United.
Yeah,
Last 5 away games for Manchester United, the stats behind that.
yeah, so we've...
The wins and stuff and the goals and stuff like that.
Yeah, so our last 5 away games, we've got 3 wins, 2 defeats, and we've scored 6, conceded 5, so it's a little bit mixed.
Yeah.
Our away record overall this season, we've had 8 wins, 3 draws, and 4 defeats. So we've scored 25 and we've conceded 16. So
it's not too bad of an away. Like a lot of people say, you try and build a season on your home form, and then try to do your best away, because it is difficult away. Like
we have been better at home this season.
A lot better at home.
Kind of turned Old Trafford into a bit of a fortress again, which is good.
I think if you look at the table, you're like 2 points behind City on home form table, which is excellent. So, so Manchester United's home form has been just as good as City's. They've only been 2 points behind. They've really made Old Trafford more like a fortress. I think the only defeat is against City in the league. Was it 2-1?
Yeah, they beat us just before Christmas 2-1. So
did you feel at that time that could have been
the
turning point of the season?
It was a turning point, because, you know, if we'd beaten them that day, we would have gone a few points behind. So
yeah,
and we should have got more out of the game. Again, we were very poor on the day. 2 very bad goals.
And Lukaku was in the box defending. Was it both or one of them anyway?
Yeah, I think he was not at fault, but he should have cleared his lines. Didn't do it, and they scored 2 tap-ins really.
So as I said, the game is very finely balanced. I don't even know what to think. We'll come to predictions there in a couple of minutes. So Jerry, do you want to give the viewers your team for Manchester United at the weekend?
I'm going to go 4-3-3.
Okay.
I'm going to go with David De Gea in goal, obviously.
Yeah.
Best goalkeeper in the world, in my opinion, at the moment. And I think he's saved us on numerous...
I think he's saved you the past 3-4 years easily. He's just...
But even this season alone,
some of the saves against Arsenal and Stoke and games like that, he's just been unbelievable. Like so
you've Big Dave in goals.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right back, Valencia. Solid, if not vintage this season. He's not been as good as he was, but
he's arguably top 2 right backs in the league.
And still he's the best right back option we have at the club at the moment. So Valencia right back.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Ashley Young left back. So
Ashley Young's had a fabulous season. He scored goals from free kicks. His delivery, I think that's one thing that you can give him huge credit for. That his deliveries into the box when he gets to the byline and just whips them in. When he presses high up the center, he's got good delivery. He's got good accuracy on his delivery, I think, from watching him.
He offers a little bit more than Luke Shaw does at the moment. So
Luke Shaw, who knows about the guy, about his future? He could be gone in the summer for all we know.
Later. So Valencia, Young, my 2 fullbacks.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Eric Bailly.
Yeah.
I think he's an absolute beast.
I think he's the best centre back at Manchester United.
So I'm going to bring him back in. He missed a game at the weekend, so he comes back in. I think he has to.
Yeah.
I wanted to go for Marcus Rojo.
Yeah.
I just think he's...
Do you think that's the best partnership?
He's the best player to partner by.
Yeah.
He's tenacious, he's strong, and he's not as nervous as Smalling or Jones.
No.
But the thing with Rojo, he's been out for about 2 months, 2 or 3 months, and he just came back
from the massive layoff as well. So yeah, it's been a troublesome year, unfortunately.
He played for Argentina last week, but it's not enough.
He didn't have him and Otamendi had a shocking game. Both very vulnerable, like a 6-1 drubbing, very very bad. But anyway,
so I'm going to go with Chris Smalling.
Okay.
I think he's been playing a little bit better the last 3 or 4 games, and I think he's probably the best option right now to come in and partner by.
Because Jones is injured, isn't he?
Jones is injured and
Lindelof can be a
as well,
bit
but I still don't trust Lindelof as
Yeah.
yet. But
He works in a back three, but in a
Well,
back two he can be a little bit
he's
suspect.
he obviously will take time to settle down into the Premier League.
Yeah,
So I'd go with Boy and Smalling for
Mhm.
now. Midfield three,
yeah,
I'm going to go with Matic, Holding.
yeah.
Uh,
He's had a great season. He went off the boil a little bit there, but he's come back on a little bit again. So
he's just played so many games, hasn't he?
like, I would have liked to seen maybe Fosu Mensah come in as a backup maybe, but he's played nearly every game, hasn't he, Matic? He hasn't nearly missed a game, so he probably was suffering with a little bit of fatigue and stuff.
I've been impressed by Matic.
Very
this
much
league.
so, very much so.
So I'm going to go with him Holding. I'm going to go Pogba
On the
just
left
to
side,
on
yeah.
the left of him,
Yeah.
and I'm going to go with a surprising one. Well, it might surprise a few people. Ander Herrera to
Okay.
come back in on the other side. So
It's a big game to put him in.
Matic, Herrera, Pogba.
And we were talking off camera, would you put Herrera possibly marking one of the playmakers in the team for City?
Yep, that's exactly why I would have him in. I think he's just a big game player.
Okay.
I mean, last season he was outstanding. This season hasn't been as good.
No.
But I don't know. I just think in this big game, big derby, I think he just gets it.
Okay.
And he'll offer a little bit more than what McTominay might do.
McTominay could do a decent job though.
Yeah, he proved against Liverpool at home and Chelsea at home that
Yeah,
he
he's
played
in the
the
big games too.
But as you said, man marking job. I think there's no better man than Herrera.
Well, the job he did against Hazard.
Maybe stick him on
So-
Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Try and nullify him.
So go on, what's your front three then going to be?
So my front three, Lukaku up front.
Yeah, he's had an excellent season. A lot of critics still don't rate Lukaku, even though he's
It's
scored.
absolutely ludicrous. I mean, the man doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Yeah.
26 goals this season so far in all
Yeah,
competitions.
and then all his international goals, so he's over 35 in all competitions. And like Morata started well as well, but he went totally off the boil. He's been off the boil for like 3 months plus now.
Mm.
But then people still criticise Lukaku. Lukaku is now at 100 goals, and we talked about this as well.
And he's only 24 as well, isn't he?
And he's 24. I think him and Kane are the same age, but you see the difference in the media perspective of Kane gets all the plaudits for getting 100 goals, which he deserves, but why is Lukaku not getting the plaudits? Just because
Yeah.
he's a Manchester United player?
Well, that's true. When Harry Kane got to 100, they were releasing DVDs and making T-shirts and
Yeah.
putting it on cups and stuff. Oh, 100 goals when Lukaku gets it.
And he's offered so much more than just the goals. His overall...
His overall play, I think Lukaku's just upped a level since he's come to United.
Yeah.
His hold-up play has gotten better. His link-up play, I've been really impressed with it.
Yeah.
People criticise his touch at times, but
It's
You
still
know,
not on the level, but if you're under Thierry Henry, one of the best strikers in Premier League history, that will refine his touch in the
With
next
Belgium,
season or two.
yeah.
So
well, he has to get to that absolute top echelon, I think.
the Lewandowskis, the Suarez's and stuff like that, yeah.
But no, I've been impressed with Lukaku.
Yeah, so am I. Very, very much impressed. Who's on your right side?
So on my right side, another surprising one, Marcus Rashford.
Okay.
Uh,
He's another player, I think, even more so than Herrera, who exemplifies what it means to play in a derby, because
Well,
he's a homegrown guy. Like,
homegrown player, Manchester lad. You know, you want someone from Manchester representing you in the derby, don't you? So,
exactly, like
I'm going to go with Rashford on the right, even though he seems to play better off the left.
he does. Yeah, he does.
I think I'm going to take a chance in it. I know you've got other options like Juan Mata and Jesse Lingard. I found it really hard leaving those two out of the team,
Yeah.
and you could just have easily slotted them in somewhere. But I'm going to go with Rashford on the other side, the big man for the big occasion, Alexis Sanchez.
He hasn't started as the way we all thought he'd start.
No, but it is hard to slot into a new team, a new environment midway through a season.
He got man
It's
of the
not
match.
easy.
He got man of the match against Swansea last
He
week.
did get man of the match, and I even said it to you on the day because I watched the match with you.
Yeah.
How you could see his level in performance had just upped a little bit.
What we were talking about and what I felt is he was over trying in games and not doing what he's good at, and it felt like he was exerting too much energy and just over trying and overplaying. But he came back a bit more last week. to what he's capable of.
Yeah,
anyway,
well, he
so-
was, like I've said it to you on numerous occasions, he was dropping back into midfield and almost playing as an 8.5.
Oh, he was going nearly to halfway line, and it's too deep to be dropping back. If you're going to play him off the left wing, he needs to be fairly high up, and the link between midfield and the winger.
And I think we saw that at the weekend for his goal. He was right on the last
Yeah.
shoulder of the last defender, and he got in and finished it off. So I'll go with Sanchez on the left. Again, you've got good options on the bench.
Who would you have? Because you can have your bench if you want to think about that as well.
I'm not sure is Sergio Romero out injured, but
Yeah, because he got a knock in the Argentina game.
So if he's out, you go Pereira on the bench.
Yeah.
Rojo.
Yeah. Would you have Shaw on the bench?
It depends. I'm going to go with my attacking players first. I would
Okay.
say McTominay as well. I'll have him on the bench.
Yeah.
I'd go with Mata.
For me, Mata is just one of the best players at Manchester United.
I know, and I hate leaving him out. But
I know,
for
I
such
know.
a big game, but he's on the bench, so I'm going to go with him.
Is Martial injured at the moment?
He's fit, so he'll be on the bench.
Yeah.
Martial,
Lingard.
Jesse Lingard.
Yeah.
So that's 3 really good attacking options
Yeah.
if needs be.
And then you can have if you have Shaw, Rojo, McTominay, you've got your 7. You've got
So
your
that's
7. Yeah. Right.
So my team in full: De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Bailly, Ashley Young. Then in midfield 3: Mata, Pogba, Herrera.
Matic.
Matic, Pogba, Herrera, and my front 3: Lukaku, Rashford, and Sanchez on the left.
So, because I'm not a fan of either club, but I will cover the Man City team. That this is what I would pick. I don't think it may necessarily.
This is from the Barcelona point of view, yeah.
It's just from what I think he should do, because it's a big ask to come back from a 3-0. It can be done, but it is a big ask. So I've gone for a pretty different team. So I think I keep Edison in goal. I think he needs to keep sharp. Bravo's too much of a risk for me to start in goal, especially in a big game like this. We saw what happened, was it last season, second half against Man United at Old Trafford. He was very, very dodgy. Even coming up to the half time, he was making mistakes and stuff like that.
Crosses and dropping balls.
So he's okay as a backup, I guess, but nah, Edison's done really well this season. Left back, I'm going to have Delph. Now, I think he should have either played it against Liverpool, but he didn't. He's done a really good job. You could argue he's up there with top 3 or 4 this season in the Premier
League.
He's
done okay, yeah. For someone that's out of position, he's done well.
Now, this could be a risk as well, but I still think I think he's a quality player, but he's just been hampered with injuries the past few seasons, and that's company. Now, he could be a risk. He could get rinsed and stuff, but
2 games in quick succession.
Yeah,
well, so.
I've gone for him because what I think he should do in the second leg is either play Stones and Laporte or play Otamendi and Laporte in the second home leg, and not play Company, because there is a lot of pace at Manchester United, so Company knows this as a big occasion as well. So Otamendi will partner him, done pretty well this season, improved a lot. And then for right back, instead of Walker, I'm going to rest Walker and I'm going to slot in Danilo. I think he can do a job, but it is a big game to come into as well for a derby. But as I said, I'm trying to think that he's going to rest some players for the big game next week in the Champions League. So, so we've got, for your holding, I'm going to play kind of similar to you, a 4-3-3, the holding Fernandinho. So, what I was looking at, when you actually do look at the squad, you said they have bought players, and I'm not doubting that, but then you look at after the top 16, who can be a backup to Fernandinho as a CDM? At least with Man United, you could say, right, Herrera could play there, or McTominay could play there, but then it's a bit more difficult, I think, for City. Maybe you could play Gundogan there, I guess, but
they don't have a lot of options in that role really.
No, and they're so like Fernando and you know they're so players like they could do with a backup, and I'll still play Fernandinho. He's had an excellent season, done really well. The two midfields either side, I think you need De Bruyne on this game just to influence the game and have his presence, just like a Paul Pogba, big time player, can put his stand and mark on the game. And I'm going to have Gundogan in the right position and not at fucking right wing.
Playing centre mid.
Centre mid. So those two in centre midfield. Now, I'm going to rest David Silva because I think he might need a rest potentially.
He's probably been their best player this season, right up there with De Bruyne.
The three best have probably been Aguero, De Bruyne and Silva.
Yeah, maybe De Bruyne has probably just outshone everyone.
Possibly, but I think he's getting on a little bit. I think Silva could do with a rest personally. So
again, 2 games in quick succession with another one to come next week. So
yeah, like
next week is the second leg.
Yeah, next week. I think it might be Tuesday potentially.
Yeah.
So on the left wing, Raheem Sterling, he needs a game, and he needs to
do particularly well when he came on last night.
He didn't do much, no, and he got a yellow card.
A lot more as a typical out-and-out winger than say Gundogan or someone like that.
He's got the pace and ability to either stay on the wing or he likes to cut in anyway, but I think you need someone like that. Now, looking at the striking options as well, you've only got really Jesus who can play there at the moment.
Aguero's out injured?
Aguero's injured, and I've actually put a youngster on the bench for them because I was looking at the team and thinking like, back in the day, even when they were playing 2 up front, they had 4 strikers. They have like 2 definite strikers, and Jesus is still very young. He's only 2021.
I thought he got a little bit overwhelmed against Liverpool.
He didn't do enough, did he?
He didn't do enough, but again he didn't have adequate service, I would say.
So to rest another big player for the game, I'm going to rest Sané and actually put Bernardo Silva on the right wing, and he has played there.
Games.
He needs games, and he needs to put in a performance as well. So the bench, we've got Bravo as the backup goalkeeper, Walker could come on potentially, you've got John Stones, David Silva, Foden done well when he's come in doing his little cameo. He's come in, he's only a youngster, he did really well at the under-17s World Cup, and give him a chance to come in and possibly do something like, you know.
I won't lie and say I've seen much of Foden, but I saw him in pre-season against United in America. We beat them. We beat City, was it 3-1 on the day? And Foden came off the bench.
Yeah.
He actually had quite a good cameo. So
yeah, he's a good young player, like, so. Sané I'm going to rest because he can always come on and potentially influence the game. And I've never even heard of this guy, Lucas Nemecha. Said they could do with like a Dzeko even to have on the bench, someone like who can come on, score a goal, or even that, you know, that kind of player to come off.
Well, I think Gabriel Jesus would have been that option, but he was injured. So,
but I still think they could do with 3 strikers. Like with Manchester United, you look, they can play Lukaku there, they can play Martial there, and they can play Rashford there.
Suppose they could play Sterling there as a kind of a false.
They could, but I think they still need that kind of goal scorer who can come on off the bench, score a goal if you need it. At least United have them options. You've got Martial who can play there or off the wing. You've got Lukaku who is the number 9. I know you just lost Zlatan, but you've still got 3 strikers.
And for a team in Man City that have spent fortunes, you think
400 million in the past 2 seasons?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, like. They've improved their defence and all that, but...
Well, they signed 4 fullbacks or something, didn't they?
They signed 3 full-backs and they bought in another centre-back. Now, they've been bringing in centre-backs. They've spent over 200 million on centre-backs the past 3 seasons, which is a lot of money. And as I was saying to you there earlier, the thing about City, you look at the 14 to 16 players, they've got a good core of players, but then after that, like you've got Toure still at the club. Why is he there? He's not getting used.
Yeah.
You've got a few players like that who could potentially be sold. I think they could do with another striker, as I said, a goal scoring striker to come on, and maybe another midfielder or 2.
Yeah.
And after the 2 batterers from Liverpool, their confidence is pretty much shot. So as I said, it's a perfect time for Manchester United to pounce.
I think it is. you go on about City squad there. I might give my opinion on just where I feel United might want to strengthen.
Yeah.
At the moment, I just don't think we're good enough to match City. I think we've been the second best team in the league, and if it was any other season, we'd be top.
You nearly win the league, so.
So it's just, if City weren't
So high up.
as phenomenal as they have been, and I hate saying it, but they've been absolutely brilliant, winning all their games.
Yeah.
Practically losing just one, was it?
They lost the 1 to Liverpool,
Yeah.
but there've been a few occasions, like against Everton at the start of the season, they could have lost them.
Palace away, but
And Palace away, yeah.
that's in the minority, really, isn't it? They've been spectacular.
They
otherwise.
have been great, like, and there's no denying. They're up there with some of the best sides, like the Manchester United treble side.
I don't think they are. I wouldn't agree with that. I think they still need to.
They'd have to win a Champions
They
League.
need to win more than just one league title.
Yeah.
I know they won the League Cup, but again, that's not great.
Would it be a phenomenal thing if they could overturn a 3-0 deficit, go on to win the Champions League? That would be impressive.
Then that would be showing a bit of character, and
Yeah.
you know, I still think they're a long way off United's great sides.
Do you think the Invincible side is better?
Arsenal's?
Yes.
Again, it's tough because I don't even think Arsenal's Invincible side was as good as their double winning side of 2002
Yeah.
or 1998.
Hmm.
So, do I think they're
A bit
as good as-
overrated, the Invincible side.
Yeah, just for they drew a lot of games that season.
They drew like 12 in the league, which is a lot, like, so.
They did nothing in Europe, so I wouldn't have them on that pedestal.
Yeah.
United's treble winning side.
What about
fantastic team.
Mourinho's first season in?
At Chelsea?
Yes.
That was a strong side.
The
More
0-4-0-5 side, yeah.
a strong defence with flying wingers and a good striker and a good midfield. Lampard got a lot of goals from midfield as well. Again, the great Barcelona teams of the late 2000s, early 2010s.
The Real Madrid the past 2 seasons.
Real Madrid the last couple of years.
Now they haven't been great in La Liga, but they're level in Champions League. They demolished Juventus.
Yeah, I think those sides, even United's team of 2008.
Yeah, I was just about to say
double
that. Yeah,
Champions League and Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all of those sides are still a long way ahead of City. And
Okay.
I think last night kind of proves that maybe a lot of their fans and the team need a bit of a reality check.
Okay.
And
You
just to
think-
go back,
You think they were getting a little bit carried away?
I mean, you've got the likes of that clown Mendy celebrating on the pitch after every game. Oh, we're going to win the league back in February, January kind of thing. So maybe it's a wake-up call.
And it's happened twice now with Liverpool that they've been battered in the actual game. They have been battered.
And again, it's not like Pep hasn't had a warning sign
Yeah.
of how to play Liverpool, you know. Take a leaf out of Jose's book, let's say.
Yeah. Sorry, what do you want to say to wrap things up?
Just
anyway?
to talk about before I give you a score prediction for the game on Saturday, I just want to talk about where United could improve.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I think defensively we've been short. I think that's probably been one of our weakest areas this season.
Because there's so many people coming in and out and in and out. There's
Yeah.
not been that solid partnership.
No, I think Eric Bailly being injured was a huge
Big time.
disadvantage. If we had him fit and consistently in the team throughout the season, that'd be massive.
You had Rojo injured for
Robo's been injured for a large
You've
chunk.
had Lindelof who had a shaky start. Some good games, but shaky.
I think he's settled down a little bit.
Yeah.
He had a nightmare against Huddersfield away back in October.
Yes.
He was at fault for at least one goal, if not both. And again, he needs time to settle.
Yeah.
We still don't know what the real Victor Lindelof is like. Personally, I don't think he will
Be the
be
first
that
team.
top player to partner by.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Smalling and Jones, I don't rate very highly.
They're good on their day at times when they can't be, but they're liable.
Thing with Smalling and Jones, they played 2 good games, didn't they? They'd cost you a game,
Yeah.
and you can't have that at the top level.
No.
Again, they're decent, but decent isn't good enough at Manchester
No.
United. There's a mistake in both of them.
Decent. If they were playing for Everton
Yeah.
or somewhere like that, they'd be fine. Like,
Plus,
you know.
they're constantly injured, especially Jones.
Yeah.
He's fit for 10 games, then he's out for half a season. So
You can't rely on that. And then Blind. You think about
Daley
Blind.
Blind, I like Blind. He's a good option. He can play as a full back, left back, centre back, or even in midfield. So
Yeah.
again, maybe he's he's a good backup player. I want to keep him at United, but
It's just that lack of cohesion between two centre backs, like a Rio and Vidic, that you can constantly rely on for most of the season. Like, yes, you're going to have games where you need to substitute them or play a different back two, but you need that cohesion.
I do think we have one half of that partnership.
You do, yeah, I do. I
He's
do
fantastic.
too. Yeah.
He's just a rock. He's similar to Vidic in terms of putting his body on the line,
Physicality,
tough
yeah.
tackles, decisive, and he's good on the ball too, which kind of mimics Rio a little bit.
Yeah.
If we can get a consistent partner for him, there's a few players I want to.
We'll talk about that maybe in a future video about potential summer signs and stuff like that.
I think a top centre back is the main one.
Okay. Midfield.
Well, just going back to the defence,
sorry.
I think we'll need to replace Luke Shaw, so a left back.
Yeah.
And possibly even a right back as well, because Valencia is 32, I think, and he won't be around forever either.
No.
So centre back and 2 full backs possibly. Midfield, I think we're still at least 1 midfielder short.
If not possibly 2, because from what we're seeing, Carrick has announced his retirement, and Fellaini on the ball.
Contract, he could go. So I think Matic and Pogba are brilliant.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Herrera, again, the jury's out on whether he'll stay or not. I think he was linked to your club Barcelona during the summer, so whether they might come back in for
based on his form last season, you would have said, oh yeah, you'd take him, but this season it's questionable now. So
who knows, will he stay, will he go? He seems to get the club, he seems to love the club, so I'd like to see him stay.
Yeah.
You've got Scott McTominay coming through, but I still think we're short a top class midfielder like a Tony Kroos or a Julian Weigl or someone like that, Jorginho. Someone to come in and get their foot on the ball. A Carrick replacement is what we really need. Again, I think we possibly could do with another tough tackling midfielder, maybe a Vidal or someone like that.
Angolan.
Someone like that,
Yeah.
I think we're okay up front.
Okay.
Possibly maybe a right winger. If I was to put a name out there right now, I'd say Gareth Bale would be ideal.
You'd love Gareth
I'd
Bale.
be happy with Bale coming in despite his injuries.
So you think it could be a summer where X amount of departures and
we need to get rid of a lot of,
we
need to get rid of a lot of deadwood out the squad. Your Fellaini's and people like that.
Well, get rid of 4 or 5 and bring in 4 or 5 essentially, so. So go on, what's your score prediction?
So my prediction for the weekend, I'm going to go 1-0 United.
I'm surprised. I actually thought you were going to say 2-1 United. So
going to go 1-0, goal midway through the second half, and then we're just going to sit back and soak up everything they've got to throw at us.
I think it's difficult to predict this game, so I'm quite on the fence about
Well,
it.
it depends on the lineups, doesn't it?
It does. I'm torn between either 1-1 or 2-1. I'm going to go 2-2. Why not? An interesting game.
You're sitting on the fence.
Yeah, totally. Because
I suppose if you offered me a draw now, I'd think about taking it because we just don't want to lose.
No.
If we lose, they're champions, and
That's going to be 2 times.
Pitch invasions and fans running on the pitch with their plastic bananas.
But they do need to bounce back from the European loss. But are they going to do it in terms of resting players? Or it's really difficult to say. So
I'm going to go 1-0. So you're going 2-2.
Yeah, I'll go 2-2. It's close because I do believe United on the day could beat them if they set up right and maybe played on the counter. They could easily beat them.
Yeah.
So that's it. So please subscribe to the channel. We hope to have more videos in the future.
More likes.
That's pretty much it.